Love you.
Hi, and welcome to Cooking with David. I'm here today with a very special guest, my own mother.
All right.
Today we're going to be cooking out something that I love since I've been a child, and everyone that I give to, it's literally their most favorite thing in the world. My mom's old-fashioned chocolate chip cookies. So today we're going to go through all the list of ingredients, and she's going to work her magic, and we're all going to learn how to make the most delicious cookies you've ever had in your life.
Okay, that sounds excellent.
All right, let's go through. So what are we going to be baking with today, Mom?
Well, I basically use the original Toll House cookie recipe, and you'll find it in the back of the bag for Toll House.
Right.
Okay, it's always on there. Okay. And I'll go through a little bit of variations that most people do with them, but it's a pretty basic cookie. We have the sugar, the flour, salt, the shortening or butter, and we'll talk about that a little bit, baking soda, eggs, brown sugar, vanilla, okay? And some people add chopped walnuts, and some people do not.
All right.
It's one of the variations depending on how you like it.
And don't forget your handy dandy KitchenAid, otherwise you're stirring it by hand.
Oh, okay. Product promotion there. Thank
Absolutely.
You. Okay.
Support KitchenAid, and hopefully we get a percentage later.
It's a great machine. It really is. It's a great machine.
All right, so let's go to the kitchen. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's get started. And what are we going to do first?
All right, we're going to work on creaming the shortening and butter together. And then we're going to be adding the sugars, and then we mix that formula until it's nice and creamy.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
So that's important. One thing I did want to mention to you, David, because you know there's a lot of different ways and variations people do with the original recipe.
Okay.
And they do that because some people like cookies that are softer, some people like them a little more crispy. Those kind of variations, the two biggest factors is the type of shortening you use.
Okay.
And how much flour you put in, okay? And that really makes a difference to the result of the cookie. Our family happens to like the original recipe, but instead of a whole cup of butter, our family happens to like it with additional shortening.
All right.
So what I use is half and half.
Okay.
Again, it can be a lot of variations to that. And so it's whatever you like. And you might just have to make a lot of batches.
There we
eat
go.
a lot of cookies.
There we go.
And do a taste test and figure out what your family likes best.
Perfect.
That's pretty much what you do. Okay?
All right. Let's get started.
All right, we're going to do that.
So what are we doing first?
First, I'm going to put the butter in so it's not too super hard. And then the next thing I do is, put one stick in, which is a half a cup. And then the next thing I do is a half a cup of this. So it's half and half.
Look at all that creamy goodness.
Okay. So you got to measure relatively properly. Okay.
All right.
And then we're going to add the sugars.
Okay, so what kind of sugars are we using?
We're using brown sugar
Okay.
and white sugar.
Oh, perfect.
And again, I think I said it was mostly the flour and the shortening. But some people do make changes in the amount of sugar.
Okay.
But our family likes the original recipe. 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup.
Perfect.
I scoop, and then I press down, and then I get it packed. But then we've done that, now we're going to do old-fashioned regular sugar, and I'm using a measuring cup I have in here, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Just dump it right in. And then the only other thing we're adding at this time is the vanilla. Next is we're going to put in 2 eggs. Now the old school proper way of doing it is you break the eggs into a bowl and then dump it in. My mom and I never did that. We just hit the side of the bowl and pop it in. But if you want to be proper, that's the way. I'm using large eggs that are fresh. But again, I put the eggs out for about a half an hour, trying to get it more into a room temperature, and that seems to help with the mixture. So could you cream that up for me, please?
Absolutely.
Okay, now we're doing the flour mixture. We do it separate from creaming. we add in, I believe the original recipe is 2 1/4 cups. I tend to go to about 2 1/2. Again, a variation that you're just going to have to try at home and see how much you like. And I'm using regular flour, unbleached, regular all-purpose flour. My personal favorite is gold medal. So just to tell you that. And then to the flour mixture, we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. Fairly well measured. Baking soda and a teaspoon. So we have the salt, flour, and baking soda. And I just slightly mix those together. And that's all there is to it. Then we're going to incorporate it into the creamy. Now, this is where you could have a fun big cloud of flour pop in. So you want to do it slowly, incorporate as you go, and you kind of get a hang for it. I always start out with like maybe 3/4 of a cup of flour in there. Get it going. Slow. There it goes, and it's incorporating. Next thing we're going to do is do a creaming for all these ingredients. We're going to stop it a second here and just trim the bot, open up, and just scrape around the edges, make sure everything. Chocolate chips, I recommend you don't skimp on it and get like an X brand. You want to do something that's a relatively good chocolate, because that will definitely change the outcome of the cookies. And some people use mini, and we just like the regular sized chocolate chip. The other thing you could do is chocolate chunks. So again, that can change the way your family enjoys the cookie. I personally dump everything in. I just don't mix it too much so we don't destroy the chocolate chips. Picked it up. And as I mentioned earlier, some people like the nuts in it. Our family, we just don't do that. But again, that's what the original recipe calls for.
Whoa, look at that.
And I know some people just like to scoop and eat. But
let's try it.
It's not healthy for you. The egg is not healthy, but we're going to do it, right?
Yep. Bon appetit, no?
Oh, click. I love this stuff.
Oh man, so good.
It's so good.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the next step?
Next step is, personally, I like to chill it for maybe about 15-20 minutes or so. It just helps when you're scooping out the dough. And then after we chill it, we'll bake it.
All right, so fridge for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna go bake these bad boys. All right.
Okay. And eat them.
That's right. All right, we'll see you soon.
With milk. And voila, we got cookies.